to judge. Why don't you have a sheet of paper per person to judge? That way you don't have to look down. Do you? You do? Oh, okay, good. I'm glad I asked. Yeah, that just makes sense. Then you don't have to look down. Then you don't miss the artistry. And then all my hard work isn't going down the toilet. Did I forget anything about artistry? Okay, so let me just recap for a minute before we show a few routines here. Oh yeah, one more thing after that. Choreography, good choreography is about pictures. It's not about what you like. Okay? You should be able to sing pictures through the skills and the transitions. You should be able to see an athlete, if an athlete, and I can't still now. If an athlete does a double out and they arch way back like this and they've lost their posture, that's not a really pretty picture. Right? They need to maintain control throughout the entire exercise. Too many times we see girls landing tumbling passes and they throw their head back and we throw the ribs out like this. In my opinion, they've lost their posture. They've lost their artistry. That could be taken a little 0.05 at the end, if you would like, because it needs to be maintained throughout the exercise. Plus, it's incorrect. It's poor execution to lose that. And in a personal opinion about choreography, less is more. Less choreography, cleaner pictures versus one step per every count and trying to make that clean. That's kind of impossible. Less is more. Truly beautiful things are simple. You're going to see two. Do you have any questions, first of all? Yeah.
I have a question about originality of choreography and elements and connections. I have too many times that I've heard judges say, what was original in there? What move was original in there? What element was original? And I don't know how I really think of looking for original choreography. I know if I see an original element, if this was just kind of cool the way they did something, but I don't think that should be looking for an original element. I think there's more to it than that. But I don't know.
I agree with you 100%.
I don't know how to explain it though.
And I may be wrong, and Evelyn, but my 2 cents is, we talk about stock routines, you know, switch leap, straddle jump, back handspring layout, punch front, gainer fall side. But if you have an athlete that did that with beautiful posture and elbows, and they got their eyes off the end of the beam and performed it, high half toe, would you really deduct for not having original moves?
No, absolutely not. Originality, it can be in skills or connections. So they may have the same skills, but as Valerie was showing you, and I'm certainly not going to look attractive doing it, but they might do, like we have one routine on here before where the knee went in and the arm went. I mean, that's original. What that deduction is for the one that is totally stopped. The chin never goes anywhere. I mean, it's original for them to go and just, that's original. That deduction is for the gymnast that is here, and the arms aren't anywhere, and this, and they do the skills, and there's nothing, but it can be in arm movements, it can be in the head movements.
I think that getting back to the question that this woman asked about the turn, and she talked about the floor, you know, where your foot isn't on your knee and your knee isn't on your knee. You know what I'm talking about? That position in a turn. Like I said, it's got to be clean. If an athlete did a double turn and her foot was right there and her back foot was pointed and all that, you may not take a deduction. But 9 times out of 10, an athlete that doesn't know if her foot should be here or it should be knee to knee is not going to be that clean. And so this little floor position usually comes from athletes that aren't as in tune in their body positions. Yeah?
As far as originality goes, and it's just my opinion, but sometimes I don't find myself looking for originality as much as I'm looking for stuff that is unoriginal, such as the athlete, the relatively high-level athlete that takes an Olympic, like Amanda Borden's choreography, or they do double one down to Georgia. They lay on the floor and they count the cans, and we've seen it 1,000 times. And not only do they do that, but they do it poorly. Because then you're really taking your model that you're looking for, going, oh, wow, you're doing an Olympic routine, are you nuts? So it's not so much that I'm trying to trash somebody for not being original, but if they're purposefully being unoriginal, that's where that comes into my mind. Just comment.
I agree. Anything else before we watch routine? We're going to watch, do you want to show any of the other routines?
No, I think what we're going to do is we're going to watch this one because it has great skill choice, great technique, and wonderful choreography.
Which one is this? Oh, this is Kate Richardson. She won nationals in 96.
How about
I want to show you two routines. They both happen to be Bruins, but that's not martial. Whatever. Kate, remember how I said Remember how I said simple is better? There's a lot of stuff in here that isn't simple. But if she couldn't, I feel this is a pretty clean routine. You should be able to see pictures. She does this weird thing on the floor that you really can't quite understand how she does it, but it's a clean picture. Watch her arms as they go from her steps into her full turn. You can see that they are symmetrical and they're where they're supposed to be. Watch her arms after the full turn, how they get down. Elbows, down. Watch her arms into her leap. You've got really clean pictures in this routine, which is why I believe she won the National Floor Championship. And this is the good double layout. She maintains that demeanor through the whole routine as well. Focus, because she was early. Arms, elbows. And watch your arms stretched, high fifth, stretched out. Clean pictures.
the original?
Could you understand what I'm saying? With the elbows and the pictures and all that? I think that was a pretty good example of that.